All right, before we jump into spraying the clear coat, let me show you what we're working on today. This car has already gone through the full prep process. We've sanded it down nicely using 600 grit and made sure every panel is smooth and ready. Body filler has been applied where needed, blocked down perfectly, and everything is set for a clean and even paint job. At this stage, it's all about the prep, and this is what makes the biggest difference when it comes to that final glossy finish. So in this video, I'll take you step by step through how to spray clear coat with the right technique to avoid runs, orange peel, or any rough spots. But first, let's take one last look at the car before we lay down that glass. We've already applied our base coat, and as you can see, it's laid down nice and even. The coverage is solid, and the color is looking exactly how we want it. Smooth, consistent, and ready for the next step. Now, before we spray any clear coat, it's important to wipe down the surface using a tack cloth. This helps remove any light dust, lint, or overspray that might have settled on the panel while the base was drying. It might seem like a small step, but skipping this can ruin your final finish. A quick wipe now can save you hours of sanding later. All right, now it's time for the first pass of clear coat, and this is where things start getting serious, because how you lay down this first coat sets the tone for your entire finish. So the first thing you need to know is, when spraying clear coat, your technique matters more than anything. Your hand movement, your speed, your distance. Every detail plays a role. Think of your spray gun like a robotic arm. You want a steady, consistent motion, no shaking, no tilting, and absolutely no stopping in the middle of a panel. Once you start a pass, you commit to that line all the way through. I'm holding the gun about 6 to 8 inches from the panel. That's the sweet spot. Too close, and you'll overload the surface, causing runs or sags. Too far, and the clear will dry before it lands, giving you a dry, textured finish. Now for this first coat, we're going with a light tack coat. Not too heavy, just enough to get the surface wet and even. You're not looking for gloss yet. This layer is all about giving the next coats something to hold on to. Make sure to overlap each pass by about 50%. That means your next pass should land halfway over your previous one. This ensures even coverage without heavy buildup. Keep your gun perpendicular to the surface. Don't angle it or sweep in circles. That creates uneven buildup, and that's how orange peel or runs sneak in. The speed you move your hand matters too. Move too slowly and you'll dump too much product. Too fast and the coverage will be patchy. What you want is a rhythm. Smooth, steady, and even from end to end. You'll notice I'm not trying to make it shiny on this first coat. That's a common mistake, chasing gloss too early. Let it flash naturally. This coat should be thin and tacky to the touch after a few minutes. Also, pay attention to edges and corners. Don't linger there. The clear tends to collect and run if you pause or double back. Just flow past them like any other part of the panel. Right now, I'm focusing on laying down an even light layer across the entire car. I'm not rushing, I'm not overloading, and I'm not trying to fix anything mid-spray. Keep the motion clean and let the product do the work. So now that we've laid down our first tack coat, we're letting it flash. This part is just as important as spraying, because if you rush it, you're going to run into problems on the next pass. Right now, the clear is settling and starting to tack up. You'll notice it's not fully glossy, and that's completely normal. We're not trying to touch it. But if you did, you'd feel a slight tack. Not wet, but not dry either. That's the sweet spot. Let the clear do its thing. This gives the solvents time to evaporate and the surface to grip the next coat properly. Depending on your temperature and airflow, flashing usually takes 10 to 15 minutes. Just be patient. This wait is what helps avoid sagging and solvent pop later on. Now we're moving on to the second pass of clear coat, and this is where things start to come alive. This coat is a medium wet pass, which means we're building up gloss and depth, but still keeping it controlled. I'm keeping the same spray distance, about 6 to 8 inches, and using that same smooth robotic motion. No wrist flicks, no rushing, just a clean, even rhythm. Each pass overlaps the last by 50%, and you'll notice I'm not speeding up. The key here is consistency, smooth trigger control, steady movement, and even coverage across the panel. You can already start to see the gloss building as the clear flows out, but I'm still being careful. Too much product, and it'll run. Too little, and it'll look dry or textured. I'm also watching those edges and curves closely. That's where most people get runs, because they slow down or double back. I treat the entire surface the same, even, smooth, and clean. At this stage, I'm not trying to fix anything. I'm just letting the clear do the work. This is a flow coat, and if you laid your first pass right, this one should lay down like glass. Stay tuned, because in just a few minutes, I'll show you how this all flashes off and the results we get at the end. It's all about patience, the right technique, and letting the clear settle beautifully. Once this coat is on, I'm going to let it flash for about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on temperature and humidity. You'll know it's ready when it feels slightly tacky, but doesn't leave residue on your finger. That's the foundation. If this first pass is done right, the next coats will lay down beautifully. All right, now we're laying down the third and final pass of clear coat. This one is all about depth, clarity, and that glassy finish. I'm keeping everything consistent, same gun distance, same overlap, but now I'm slowing down just slightly to let the clear flow out and level as smooth as possible. This pass is sometimes called the flow coat because it really helps the clear melt together and flatten out beautifully. You want to be careful here. Don't go too heavy just trying to make it shine. The gloss is already building underneath. If you lay too much, that's when runs and sags happen. I'm still overlapping each pass by 50% and staying in full control of my speed and hand movement. Watch the reflection. If you start to see yourself clearly in the panel as the clear lands, you're doing it right. That's your visual guide. I'm not touching up. I'm not going back to fix anything mid-panel. I just commit to the pass and keep it clean. This third coat locks in everything. And if the prep and first two coats were solid, this layer should flow like glass. Stay with me, because after this flashes off, we'll check the surface, and you'll see just how deep and glossy the finish really is.